Hey guys, today we are going to work on pages 256 and 257 from book number 1, which is the instruction book. I'm trying something new today with a different program instead of just recording myself and using the iPad or recording myself and trying to hold up my huge, heavy book. I'm trying something. We're going to see how it works. Let's look at page 256, number 1. It says, Elsa went to swim practice after school. She finished at 5:45. Which clock shows the time Elsa finished? Circle all the correct answers. It says Elsa went to swim practice after school. Think about what after school is. Is it AM or PM? In the last video, we talked about AM and PM. AM being morning time, so anytime before noon or 12 o'clock, and PM being anytime after noon up until midnight. So Elsa is swimming after school, so she's going to be swimming in the PM. We're looking for 5:45, so if you can see right here, it says 5:45, but remember, it's after school, so we're looking at PM. So let's look at A. The digital clock says 5:45, but I notice in the corner it says AM. So that cannot be swim practice after school. That might be swim practice before school, but not after school. Let's look at B. On an analog clock, there's no way to tell whether it's AM or PM. So if the clock reads 5:45, we're going to go with that answer. Look at the small hand right here. The small hand here is between the 5 and the 6. Remember from my last videos, to tell the hour, you go back to the one it just passed, or you go back to the smaller number, which in this case is 5. Between 5 and 6, the smaller number is 5. Then for minutes, I go back to the top at the 12, and I count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. So my hour was 5, my minutes are 45. Yes, B is the correct answer, so I would circle B. Now remember up top it says circle all the correct answers, so we're going to make sure that C and D either are correct or are not correct. Look at the hour hand on C. It's between the 9 and the 10. So it's just past the 9, so the hour would be 9 something. We're not looking for 9 something. We're looking for 5 something, so it cannot be C. Go to my digital clock, 5:45. Check if it's AM or PM. It's PM. So D would be another correct answer. Number 2, where does the hour hand point when a clock shows 10:30? Hour hand. I have my little clock here. For the hour to show 10:30, remember for the minute hand to be half past the hour, it's on halfway down on that 6. So this clock right here shows 10:30. Notice how the hour hand is not right on that 10. The only time it's going to be right on the number is when the minute hand is straight up and down. So like if it's 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock, that's the only time that hour hand is going to be right on the number. Otherwise, it's going to be between numbers. So let me show you 10:30 one more time. This is 10:30 because it's between the 10 and 11. So I go back to my smaller number, which is 10. And then I count by 5s. Going the wrong way. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So this shows 10:30. Where's the hour hand? Circle the correct answer. A, is my hour hand at the 6? No. B, is my hour hand at the 10? It's not right at the 10. It's by the 10, not right at the 10. C, between the 9 and the 10. Or D, between 10 and 11. Which one do you think it is? If you chose D as in dog, you are correct. Go ahead and circle D. we go. Number 3, the minute hand on a clock points at 10. What time could it be? Circle all the correct answers. Look at that. Circle all. That means there's going to be more than one. Circle all the correct answers when the minute hand on the clock points at 10. So we're not worried about the hour hand. We're going to ignore it. We have to find a time that ends with, let's count, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, because that's where that minute hand stops. It's at 50 minutes. Again, we're not worried about the hour, just the minute. A, 10, 10. Remember, my minutes come after the colon. These 2 dots, that's the colon. My minutes come after it. So A, 10, 10. Remember, we're looking for 50. B, 4, 50. C, 10, 30. D, 8:50. There are 2 correct answers. See if you can get them. If you chose B and D, you got them correct. Let's go down to number 4. Dylan finished his afternoon soccer practice at the time shown on the clock of the right. Here's the clock. Which clock shows the time Dylan finished soccer practice? Circle the correct answer. Okay, go back to the problem. This is a really important word right here. Afternoon. So it's not morning. We're talking afternoon, which is going to be PM, okay? Look at this clock right here. This shorthand is almost directly on that 4. Almost, just a little bit past it. So the hour is going to be 4. In my minute hand, remember I start at the 12 and I count by 5s. So I start at here. Here's my 12 and I start counting by 5s. 5. My hour was 4. My minutes are 5. So it should be 4:05. And remember, we're in the afternoon. So PM. A, 4:01, not the right time, and it's AM. B, 4:05, PM. So it's got the right hour, it's got the right minutes, and it's got PM for afternoon. We're circling B. I'm going back up to the problem to see if it says circle all. It just says circle the correct answer, so there's just one answer. Number 5. Robin read until 7:35 in the evening. Draw hands on the clock to show that time. Then write the same time on the digital clock. Be sure to circle AM or PM. This is super important in the problem where it says in the evening, so we know it's going to be PM. It's not morning, it's not AM. 7:35. Remember how I said in the video, the only time that hour is going to be right on the number is when it's like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, right on an even hour. This isn't even hour. This isn't 7 o'clock. This is 7:35. So it's a little bit past 7. That means our hour hand, that's tricky to say, is going to be just a little bit past 7. And remember that hour hand is the shorter one, so we don't want to go all the way down. We want to make sure people know that's our hour. Okay, so it's between the 7 and 8. Remember, that's where we want it because the hour is still 7 something. 35. Let's find where 35 is. Start at the 12. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So our big one is going to go down to that 7. And you can bring it all the way down to the number. Do your little arrow. 7:35. And then they want us to write it on the digital one. 7:35. And remember, it's evening, so it's PM, okay? Number 6, the clock at the right is missing the minute hand. It's either 6:05 or 6:55. Which is correct? Explain how the hour hand can help you know the answer. Okay. The clock on the right is missing the minute hand. It's missing the long one. It's either 6:05 or 6:55, which is correct. Look at the hour hand. Is the hour hand closer to 6 or closer to 7? I would say that it's closer to 7, right? Which time, 6:05 or 6:55, is closer to 7? It should be 6:55. So if you have this exciting, you're going to ride your bike at 7 o'clock, and you say, what time is it? You would want to say 6:55. That means you would only have to wait 5 minutes. If it was only 6:05, that means it's closer to 6 o'clock instead of 7 o'clock. 6:55 means you only have to wait 5 minutes until 7 o'clock if you had an exciting place to go at 7. Which is correct. Explain how the hour hand can help you know the answer. All right, so the one that is correct is it's 6:55 because that hour hand is closer to the 7. So if we wanted to go ahead and put the minute hand in, we'd start at 12, and we count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. So the long minute hand, the big hand on the clock, would have to be pointing right there, just like that. And it is 6:55, so it's 5 minutes until 7. Explain how the hour hand can help you know the answer. Whichever number the hour hand is closer to, that's going to tell you the hour. So if it's closer to the 7, then it's going to be closer to 7 o'clock. If it's closer to the 6, it's going to be closer to 6 o'clock. So wherever the hour hand is pointing, that's going to help you tell what the hour is. That's how the hour hand helps you. You can go ahead and write that in. You don't have to write exactly what I said. If you have a better way of saying it, you're more than welcome to write that.